What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into the channel today. And today our adventure leads us to Bear Creek Redwoods. And this is a relatively new trail series, a new park that was fairly recently opened up. And for years, I had done this trek up Bear Creek Road to the Boulder Creek Boy Scout camp. When my son was into scouting, but now he's a couple years out of scouting, and they've since opened up Bear Creek Redwoods. So we just took the drive down from Palo Alto on 85 to 17 Bear Creek Road, and we are at the main lot down here. And it looks like there's a little lake here, and I'm going to do a little loop around that. And we'll come back and do this Alma Trail and hike up and do this loop here up to Madrone Knoll, 2,400 feet, and we'll come back down and do the Alma Trail loop that way. So, hope you guys are having a great early winter season, and I know I sure am. This is, for me, one of the best times to go hiking. To Alma Cultural Landscape and Picnic Tables. Oh man, that is really cool. So again, this is all totally new to me. I think someone was telling me they opened this trail up a couple of years ago. Area closed, area closed. There's the small pit restrooms. I think maybe I was supposed to make a right back there. Yeah, let's go back this way. I don't know where the heck I'm going. Okay, let's go back this way and head on up here. Alrighty guys, so one of the things I need to do is figure out where the trailhead is. I think it's back across the road, but nonetheless, let's go check this out and see what's over here. That looks like an old home building foundation. Someone probably had a house there. Restoration in progress. Okay. Dormitories. Alma College students. Oh my goodness. There was a college here. 130 students. These are the dorm rooms. Demolished in the 1970s. Wow. There was a college here, if you can believe that. Oh my goodness, you have to be kidding. Men became priests at Alma College. Priesthood, very cool. Unbelievable. So this is just amazing, hiking through ruins, I guess. Ruins, is that the right word for this? Not really, it's not old enough to be considered ruins, but the fact that they've preserved this history is really, really cool. This is really cool. I had no idea this was up here. I mean, I kid you not, guys, for 6-7 years, my son was a Boy Scout, and we would do that drive up Bear Creek Road into Boulder Creek at least twice a year, and I went past this all the time, and I had no idea about this history. My goodness, these are mansions. Old homes. Super cool. Restored to some degree, obviously, but still really cool. Wow. Okay, let's go this way. Someone used to live here. Could you imagine living here? Jeez. Yes, we'll be hiking up amongst the redwoods today. And we'll get there, guys. This looks like a little atrium or outdoor area. This is somebody's home. This was somebody's home. People used to live here. Unbelievable. I just love history, you know? These old buildings, look at these brick. Look at that. It's like crumbling in front of us. Crumbling and changing in front of us. And I could come back a year from now and that would probably look different. Wow. What is this, a horse stable or a garage? What is that? Carport. That is a carport and bat habitat now. Very cool. Another garage. Oh, here's the estate. Corner garage. That's where we're at now. Geez, a two-story garage. Someone had a two-story garage here. Unbelievable. Some sort of a road going down that way that they clearly do not want me entering. And we've got some stop signs up here. And I'm not seeing any footprints or signs of a lot of people being up here. So let's check this out. Another old ruin. You can see where they had to clear all this land out, clear this path, probably loaded with poison oak. And they obviously don't want people wandering too far out and about. Okay, so we're at the far end of the estate. Looks like more crumbling brick. Lily pond. Oh, this was a pond. Very cool. So this concrete looks fairly new. That's what's immediately obvious. The new facilities versus the old. They have to do this, otherwise you get little kids falling off into the ravine down there, into the creek area down there. So they have to put these boundaries up. Stop. Area closed. Do not enter. Okay. I have no desire to go there, and we'll just leave it at that. Alrighty guys, so actually I was a little bit wrong. Those weren't the living quarters. That's not actually someone's house. That's the old library for the old Alma College. That area there. So we are gonna trek back this way and try and find the trailhead. Alrighty guys, so that was the old college facility, historic site, and we're just going to do this little interpretive loop here around the lake. There's the restrooms, and we will emerge onto the trail in a little bit. Small lake off to the left. Very cool. I keep harping on this, but man, I can't believe how many times. Oh gosh, look at that heron. Whoa! That guy's huge. Oh my gosh, hope you guys can see that. He's probably gonna fly away pretty soon or walk away. I probably startled him. So a lot of vehicle traffic. I apologize for that. And another road down here which they clearly don't want. Oh, that's the permit equestrian trail. And there's a creek down there too. Very cool. Just hiking around a small lake. Very cool. More remnants from the Jesuit college, I believe. Shrine of St. Joseph. Yep. Pretty cool. I'm not a religious person, but I just find it amazing the rich cultural history of California, Bay Area. Just a really nice hike around the lake. So, those of you who are less able-bodied and like to take adventures at your own pace, this is a great way to do that. Alrighty guys, so that was the trek around the lake, the little loop. Here's the parking lot. I got here at 10 o'clock on a Saturday. My understanding is this lot does fill up pretty quick, so have backup plans if this lot is full. They don't want people vehicle parking on the road. There's no room for that. So a great backup plan, and the backup plan I had today was if this was full, I would have done Mount Umunum or possibly Aladdin Quicksilver area. So luckily there's plenty of parking today, and that takes us to the main trail. Alrighty guys, here we go. Bear Creek Redwoods Open Space Preserve. Mountain lion habitat. Yes sirree. No bikes, no dogs. Only horses and hikers. So this is pretty steep here, I think, for the early part of my hike. So you're going to hear me and my Darth Vader breathing apparatus for the first part of this hike. And that's how it goes. And we will definitely be doing hikes up in the Redwoods today, guys. Take my time, pace myself. It's not a sprint, it's a slow walk. Leaves a 3 warning everywhere. Patches of poison oak everywhere here. Very important to stay on trail. Alrighty guys, so we are on the Alma Trail, about 0.2 miles from the parking area down that way, and we're going to head on up to Madrone Knoll Trail, 2.5 miles. And area closed, do not enter. Okay, no problem. So we'll head on up this way. I imagine most of this is going to be fire road, just like you see here. Most of these California lower elevation Bay Area trails are. So this is pretty much an uphill climb. I think the summit of this trail, the peak summit, is 2,500 feet. So that parking area is at about 500 feet or so, maybe. Have to double check the map. Hooey guys, look at where we are now. So we hiked through to this clearing here, out from under the redwood canopy, and now we transition into oak canopy, and you're getting a pretty good image here of what the trail looks like so far. It's actually paved rock, paved gravel and rock here. So I don't see a lot of fresh vehicle tracks here, so it doesn't seem like the rangers go up and down this trek too much, at least not in their vehicles. So we'll keep going. Pretty gradual uphill climb so far. We've seen steeper grades than this before, but nonetheless it is uphill. So I'm surely not maintaining my 3 mile/hour speed, which I normally try to do, but what I'll have to book it on the downhills to make up for my slower pace going uphill. So I'll probably average out close to 3 miles per hour. So, those of you familiar with the Bay Area, off that way is Lexington Reservoir, come down that way, and Highway 17 is down at the base of those hills right there. Can't give you any more distance perspective like I normally like to do, simply because we're pretty much surrounded by Santa Cruz Mountains right now. And we've got some level ground. Very nice. And it looks like someone's homestead up here. Very cool. I'm a little off the trail, but oh yeah, someone used to live here. Total. Poison oak, gotta watch out. Someone's stove, it looks like. Yeah, that's an oven. That's an oven there. And we come down, someone built a fence surrounding their property. It's another oven, 2 ovens. I don't know why you'd have 2 ovens. Barbecue grill. This was, if not someone's dwelling, it was a place that someone spent some degree of time. A bench right down there. I'm going to walk through this chimney area. And that's our trail. Looks like this big tree, this big redwood just fell and crushed this homesteader's dwelling. What an awful, awful situation that must have been. That tree looks really old. It's been toppled over for quite a while. It's a little bit steep going back that way, so I'm going to double back through the ruins. And it looks like they had a series of steps coming up here. Yes, I know I'm hiking through poison oak. Very, very dangerous if you're allergic to this stuff. And that's not poison oak, so I'm okay there. Some palm trees. And I see a fence line there. Looks like a fence line, yeah, so that's about as far as I can go. So it looks like a clearing here. So we'll head back on down to the trail. It's a special treatment zone. Uh-oh. Okay, I need to stay out of here. Not good for me to be back there. So, we're back at the homesteader's dwelling. Oh, look, there's another bench. See that? That green wood? There's another bench. It looks like another bench that just got crushed from this tree. I bet you there's some very interesting history about this site. And I would imagine they'll probably rope this off, fence this off, or barricade this at some point, but as it is now, with a fairly new trail, it's still accessible. But that was cool. It was definitely some homesteader's dwelling. And you can see the backs of the bottom side of that tree that fell right across here. Very cool. There's this old fence line crushed by the tree. And here's the backside that we just came from. Look at that. His fence is hanging by a thread, maybe a handful of nails, and it's ready to topple off the ledge there. And oh, look at that. He built up part of that ledge with a bunch of rocks, looks like. More fallen redwoods. You're just, if you live up here, you're just completely at the mercy of the natural environment. Your life could change abruptly. That being said, my last hike to, where was that? I can't even remember. I'm drawing a blank. But my last hike, I heard a large oak tree splinter, and fall as I was looking down into a cleared area with some oak tree forest around it. And widowmakers happen all the time. Oh, here's the flat area that we just came down off of. Could could have accessed it much easier. And there's some vehicle tracks. So there are vehicles up here, and it looks like they have the lands tagged for something. Quite a few hikers out today. Just past my second group, and all these trees are marked, tagged and marked for some reason. I don't know why or what for. They're all redwoods, and they're all the smaller ones, as near as I can tell. These big ones are not tagged, they're not marked. So, if we find any more ruins and homesteader dwellings along the way, we will definitely capture that on video. Usually with these new parks and new trails, things like that are the first thing they clear out and fence off or rope off or whatever, just because they don't want people going in there, like I just did. And I apologize if this video is so dark. It's 11:30 right now, and it just looks like that because we are in the dense redwood forest. Alrighty guys, so we're continuing past that junction. Get a load of this tree. Isn't that cool? I've never seen an oak tree look like that before. That is oak. So we're hiking up past that junction, and it's an uphill steady climb. Our friend the hill. Our friend the uphill through our friend the oak forest. With patches of redwood throughout. Gonna take it slow. Pace myself. No hurry. A lot of climbing to do today. Alrighty guys, we're continuing uphill. Ooh yeah, another clearing out here. And looks like we're hitting a trail junction. Alrighty. Oh, this might actually be that junction on the map. Yes, sir. Okay. So this is the junction between Redwood Springs and Alma Trail to Madrone Knoll, 1.5 miles. So I'm going to take Alma Trail to the left. And I just need to remember, hang a right at BC Junction 01, which is back behind us now. So I'll do the loop around and we'll come back down this way on our return trek. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Making things up as I go along. There's a Huey off in the distance. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm sure you can hear that. I'm not sure if it's a training mission or they're actually involved with the real operation. But don't believe they do training missions over that area south of Lexington Reservoir. So you'll probably be hearing the sounds of that helicopter off in the distance, because I've heard it off and on throughout the hike. So that was the first half hour exactly of our hike. So I hiked in from the parking lot to that trail junction. A little over 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes, actually a little under 30 minutes if you take out the time we explored at Homesteader's ruined home. Maybe that's not interesting to you guys, I don't know, but I find that interesting. Old historic sites, that just really kind of fascinates me. So, to my surprise, this first little post junction section of the hike has been downhill the whole time, so booking it now. Probably I'm going to do I usually like to do about a 3 to 3.2 mile per hour pace on downhills and flats, so that way I average up my Darth Vader huffy puffy going up the hills. That's just me. It's one of the reasons why I try and hike solo. Not really into group hiking, to be honest. What's William Dafoe's line in Platoon with the grin? I'm faster alone. I can't say it the way he does. I'm not an actor. I'm definitely not William Dafoe. But that's one of the reasons why I like to do solo hikes, is I can totally independently vary my pace and speed how I feel comfortable. That's just me. Wow, look at where we are, guys. Get a load of this redwood forest. There's some trail management going on. Big old pile of rock. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. I really, really do hope my little Sony action camera does this justice, but I don't think it does. Or I'd be very surprised if it actually does. Sounds of crows in the tree canopy. And someone left some memoir or memento there. Gonna keep the camera rolling here for a little bit, guys. Now this will climb. I don't know why I'm doing all this downhill now, but that just means I gotta go back uphill and regain the elevation I've lost. And once again, seeing trees tagged with ribbon, and I don't know why they do that, but it is what it is. Every time I see a flat in a clearing like that, I'm wondering if that wasn't at some point another resident, some homesteader, trying to set up a dwelling there. I don't see any signs of concrete or brick, but I do see a clearing and a flat. That doesn't seem natural at all. Whoo-wee! Look at where we are, guys. I just love hiking through redwoods. That the ground, the earth is so soft, organic and soft. It's like walking on carpet. The beauty of the Santa Cruz Mountains. Not quite Lake Tahoe, to be honest, but still, it's got its own charm. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, it is the week before Thanksgiving, so mid-late November, and this is the Bay Area winter. Blue skies, warm temperatures, mid-70s, low 70s right now, and yes sirree. looks like some fallen roofing material. Not sure what that's for, what that's doing there, but somebody decided to set up base camp there at some point. I don't see any easy trail or access path down there. I would take you down there if I could. Let's see what's around this corner. Nope. Once again, smooth gravel, paved road. This is a paved road, guys, as near as I can tell. I've seen city streets paved less sufficiently than this. Holy moly. I imagine this would be a great rain hike. I'm not seeing any, I have not seen any signs of water runoff or water damage or water flow through this trail. So you could probably do this hike in a rain in light weather boots, a lightweight boot. Probably wouldn't really need waterproof boots. So I'm not sure where the water goes off these slopes in a rain, but doesn't appear to be anywhere near the trails. Finally, some horse poop. I've not seen any signs of horses up here. I'm just going to roll the video, guys. This is too beautiful not to. So I did that first maybe mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile. Didn't seem that long. But it was uphill, up and out of the parking lot. And since that first trail junction that we took to the left, the unmarked one, this has been all downhill and relatively flat. I've done very little uphill climbing since then. I mean, there is more climbing ahead of me though, but still, nonetheless. And once again, a burnt out, blacked out, hollowed out redwood. I'm assuming that's lightning. It's pretty amazing how much power is in a bolt of lightning to incinerate a frickin' redwood like that. Factoring in how much a redwood tree weighs and how much material is there. One thing's for sure, the weather feels a little bit chilly. All it takes is a few 100 feet of elevation gain in or out, and you can feel the weather temperature patterns change. So I always pack a light sweatshirt and zipper leg pants on these hikes. Now, I'm not doing anything in seriously dangerously cold conditions, but nonetheless, weight limit 36 tons. Uh-oh. What do I do, guys? Do we keep going? I think we can manage. And I would like to know what this is. This doesn't seem like much of anything. Just a bridge here, I see. Just a bridge, unmarked, unnumbered bridge across a creek. Oh yeah, we've got some creek flow today, guys. Very nice. we're not too far removed from our first rainfall of the season, so things are still kind of damp. Alrighty guys, let's take a quick look at the map. So we just passed Webb Creek that goes along this way, right about here. So we're along this Alma Trail and we're right around in this area right here. Okay, so we're going to loop around and come up here to Madrone Knoll Trail. Alrighty guys, so here's the first sign of water runoff that I've seen on the trail, on and over the trail. And trail is this way. Once again, we're seeing a lot of closed areas, obviously not fenced off. It's on the honor system, so to speak. And right away we venture off the paved road, and now we're into dirt. And immediately we're seeing signs of water erosion and runoff. So this is a really fine packed dirt, clay. So this in the mud would be really soupy, slippery and treacherous. So here's the part where you would need good boots and trekking poles if you've got it. Once your boots get caked up with clay, it is icy slick. Like walking uphill on ice. And I've got some hikers in front of me, so I'll try and keep my trail chatter to a minimum. Alrighty guys, we're still moving here. So right down there is Bear Creek Road. So we've been kind of doing a hike kind of parallel from it, but this is the first time I can actually see and hear it. Been up and down that road many times, into and out of the town of Boulder Creek. And as many times as I've been up and down that road, I've always wondered what's up in these hills. And now I've got the answer to that. Redwoods and oak. And a trail. And there's some hikers up ahead of me. They don't seem to be the loud, noisy type. A family of 3 out for a Saturday stroll, just like me. Just passed another group of hikers, probably my 4th or 5th by now. So this is a pretty popular trail, despite sections of my video being pretty much the opposite, for lack of a better term. Alrighty, so I'm expecting to see a trail junction up here pretty soon. We are a little over an hour into our hike. It is now 12:10. So, by my calculations, I should be at about the 3-mile junction in my trek. Alrighty guys, we're at our trail junction to Madrone Knoll, and this way to Redwood Springs Trail, Alma Trail, from the parking lot, 2.7 miles. So we'll go this way. to Madrone Knoll, 0.9 miles. Pretty well marked trails throughout. The only junction that wasn't marked was that first one I encountered where I made a left. So, 0.9 miles by my 3-mile-per-hour pace. That would be about 20 minutes. No GPS required. The key is maintaining my 3-mile-per-hour pace. So we should hit that knoll in about 20 minutes. Unless I stop to take a rest. Or it starts getting really steep, which it could. It's kind of uphill the whole way. .9 miles never seems like it's very far, and it's never the distance that gets you. It's the elevation gain that really does the number on you. I think some people were back there. We're doing some volunteer trail maintenance. I heard them with shovels and rakes and stuff like that. I hope they're not allergic to poison oak, because they were in the thick of it. But kudos to them. Alrighty guys, we're still going. Still trucking into and out of oak forest and redwoods. So this Madrone Knoll summit loop peaks at about 2,400 feet. So not real high, but I think the parking lot started off at about a few hundred feet. I gotta double check the map. So 1,900, maybe 1,800 feet of total elevation gain on this trek. And it's been pretty gradual, actually. Oh gosh, I'm going to jinx myself. Okay, I haven't yet had a deep stair climb ascent. Maybe on a switchback, outside of the switchback U-turns, which are kind of steep, but I've only seen a couple switchbacks, if that. So we are gradual uphill at this point. Taking it slow, taking it steady. Ooh yeah, that's how we roll. And we're coming up on something up here. What's this? Whoa. Okay, we've got some signs going on. Madrone Knoll Trail, 2 parking lot, 2.9 miles. Okay, we're almost 3 miles from the parking lot. And this is just a private road. This is not Bear Creek Road. Private driveway, no public access. Okay. This is totally unmapped. So we're going to continue this way. Relatively new signposts to Madrone Knoll, 0.7 miles. And if I see any more wrecked homesteader dwellings, I will definitely point those out, but I haven't seen any since that first one. .7 miles. We'll keep going. Onwards and upwards. Do you guys hear that? That's the sound of the redwood forest. Absolutely silent. Just me and my breathing. And my footsteps, of course. Still feel good. Yeah, it's uphill and I'm climbing, but working on my Darth Vader breathing, conditioning my mind to deep draw breaths of air, and trying to maintain a steady pace and a steady stride cadence too. Don't want to burn out one leg more than the other. I did that on my last hike. Right leg started cramping up. So I'm trying to avoid that, if at all possible. Curious what's up at the Madrone Knoll summit. Usually things like that are an overlook. It's a small loop, and usually it's an overlook. They may have a clearing, a bench. We'll see. Alrighty guys, here we go. Spoke too soon. Here's a section of leg burn and lung burn. Gonna put you guys on film. We're gonna film this. Whew. This is the ultimate reality TV right here. No sugarcoating this. May have to pause and take a rest here, but this is the first real steep climb that I've done in quite a while on this trek. Still not the steepest I've ever hiked, but nonetheless, something I want to point out here. If you guys are hiking amongst redwoods, and you see poison oak, stay out of it. But if you see that, okay, see that sappy dripping substance coming out of the tree? That is called fatwood. So fatwood is a resin, a pine resin, that the tree floods out to dead branches, and it helps protect the tree against disease. It's a natural defense that the tree has. So any branch that's cut off or broken off the trunk, the tree will flood it with fatwood and that pine tar resin. Okay? That's important, useful for outdoor enthusiasts because it is extremely flammable. What you do, get your pack saw and cut off the sappy filled, resin filled section of wood, and you've got a little chunk of flammable tinder for your campfires. So that is called fat wood. Now technically, it's illegal to deface the forest in California. But if you're in a region or a zone that allows such a thing, you can harvest flammable timber, get it out of the forest, and secondary purpose that for your campfires as a fire starter, flammable fire starting material. And the uphill trek continues. Whew. May have to pull over, take a break here. Feeling it in my chest, in my lungs. Oh yeah. So I'm definitely not doing the full 3 mile per hour speed right now. Not sure what I've slowed down to, but I've definitely slowed. Woo! Okay guys, we are still trekking. Leveling off here from that steep climb, and I might be nearing that Madrone Knoll Junction. One thing's for sure, I have not encountered any hikers coming back down from the summit. So, that small family of 3 is a few minutes behind me still. Caught a glimpse of them coming up the hill off in the distance. There's some fall color off in the distance. We don't get a whole lot of that here in the Bay Area. Lower elevation. Most of us are under oak forest and redwood trees with some splashing of fall color. Uphill again. Still climbing. The reality TV continues. Woo-wee! All right, guys. I think I finally reached it. This is the summit of the Madrone Knoll, I believe. Got a direction to the right and a direction to the left. We'll take the branch on the right. What the heck? I'm not sure what there is to see up here. I know it's a loop, but we have reached the 2,400 foot summit of the trail, and I can barely peek through the tree canopy and see the view down into San Jose. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Can't make out exactly what I'm seeing there. Probably Santa Teresa, or maybe, oh yeah, Santa Teresa. That's Lexington Reservoir. Can you see it? That's Lexington Reservoir. Santa Teresa, Almaden Valley is kind of that way. Los Gatos is down there too. And we've reached the Madrone Knoll, clearly, and definitely a summit with no vista. A summit without a view. So you have to take my word for it, guys. We are actually at the trail summit right now, even though you can't really see it. Which is okay by me. It is what it is. Not every trail summit has to have a vista, a view vista. And you can see where they cleared some of the deadfall in this area. Oaks, for sure. That looks somewhat fresh cut. And just lucky it's not windy up here. I mean, these Bay Area summit conditions can be so windy and so breezy that it blows out my microphone audio more often than not. So, well, that was it. We've just made the loop around the knoll, and I'm just going to park it here. It looks like other people have had the same idea. I'm going to park it here, unzip my pant legs, and we'll just hang out for a bit. Alrighty guys, so let me just show you where we are on our map. So we just hiked up Alma Trail, and came up Madrone Knoll Trail, and we're at this loop right here, Madrone Knoll. It's 2,400 feet, and I can actually hear Skyline Boulevard off in the distance, and which is a very popular road in the Bay Area. But there's not much of a view here at Madrone Knoll, so kind of anticlimactic. I mean, you're looking at it. I took you guys around, and you're kind of looking at it, so that's just the way it is, you know. So still, an awesome, awesome hike nonetheless. So we're going to return back, take Madrone Knoll Trail, and we're going to hang a left here on Redwoods Springs Trail and come back down into the main parking lot down here. Alrighty guys, so had our granola bars, had a rest, had a nice little chit chat with some fellow hikers, and we're going to come off this Madrone Knoll loop area, and we're going to come back down, and we're going to take the Redwood Trail. I guess I can't remember the name. Redwood is the main name of the trail, but the trail to the left once we get down here. So this will be downhill and smooth sailing the whole way. Alrighty guys, so we're at the trail junction. We're going to take Redwood Springs Trail back to the parking lot. So we came up Alma Trail and we're looping around to Redwood Springs. I'm wondering, are there actually springs along this trail? Maybe, maybe not. One thing's for sure, there's going to be a lot of redwoods. So we'll keep going, and I've got to double back here actually. Got to hike back up the hill for a little section here, and then we'll drop back down into the downhill again. Oh my, look at the size of that redwood. Jeez, it's a monster. Amazing. Probably one of the biggest ones I've seen so far. Pretty wide open fire trail so far. Wow, look at that oak. Just leaning over, toppling over. Look at that thing. Unreal. What's this? Some sort of a warning sign. Warning, trail may not be passable for emergency vehicles. Okay. I'll take that into advisement. Not sure why they have to post that. I've never seen that sign before on any trail. It's automatically assumed you can't get an ambulance up a single track through oak forest. I think that pretty much goes without saying. Some more fern on the side. Area closed. Do not enter. Okay. No problemo. And another gutted out, flamed out tree. Look at that. Amazing. Area closed. Do not enter. Okay. I have no desire to go up there. I'll stick to the trail. Oh wow, this is beautiful. I'm just gonna roll the camera, guys. Got some mossy, I spoke too soon back there, got some mossy fern areas all throughout here. Still feeling great. I guess the reason why they post a warning sign like that is if you managed to really push yourself going up to the summit and you can't make it back, or maybe you took a stumble and injured yourself and can't make it back, then might want to pick a different trail route. So one thing's for sure, I did a much better job with my stride, my pace, and my mechanics on that hike up. So I don't have any leg fatigue here today. Unlike my last hike where, look at that, I'm hiking under a redwood tree, directly under the root structure and everything. Look at that. That is sick. That's all sandstone. Wow, that is total sandstone. I'm seeing lots of sandstone crumble away off these ledges. Someone explained that to me. Was this area underwater at some point? Probably. Underwater, beach-covered areas? Possibly. Oh yeah, we are deep into the redwood forest now. This is beautiful. Just amazing. Some creek water runoff. Here's one creek crossing and signs of water flow coming down through. There's a spring somewhere at the source of that water flow. So there is one spring, at least. Here's some patches of sunlight, and we really narrowed down now, bordering on some single track now. Come across one hiker so far in this return leg. Whoa, look at that color. Fall leaves, look at that. Alrighty guys, making our way. Another dead fall? No, that's alive. Live fall. That's ready to topple over, make its way farther down on the trail. Just managed to finish our last real uphill trek up some switchbacks, maybe 100 feet or so at the most. Not real extensive, but it is an uphill climb on this mostly downhill descent. Continuing our trek. Fall color splashing through. Very nice. Very nice. Looks like we got some more sign posting up here. What's this one say? Let's see. What do we have here? Oh, another one of our strange warning signs in bright yellow. I don't think they really need to make that bright yellow. They could make it another color. Toyon berry bushes. First time seeing them. Those are very, very common in the lower California elevations. Those are not edible, although I think raccoons eat them. And we're dropping into redwoods again. Our friend, the redwoods. Still smiles, not tired. Was a little short of breath earlier, but I've recovered nicely since then. Legs are feeling great, not too tired at all. So, doing all right. It's just beautiful. Love how the sun just lights up the forest greenery coming out of the shade areas. Amazing. Just amazing. Alrighty guys, just passed up my second hiker on this downward trek. Had to pull over, ditch the sweatshirt. It was getting a little warm. So, amazing, just a few hundred feet of elevation change and just gets a little warmer, and even downhill, even doing it downhill, I still can heat up pretty quick, start sweating pretty bad. So that's not a huge issue in warmer temperatures, warmer climates, but if you're in a colder climate, yeah, that's that can lead to wet clothing that doesn't dry, can lead to hypothermia, especially if you're doing an overnight. And on a day hike, it doesn't really matter. But it's more about comfort for me personally, layering up and layering down with my body temperature. So we're making our way here, guys. This is such a nice hike. Just a real casual stroll. Those of you who are kind of like me and into relaxing hikes, this is definitely one of those. This is not really a adrenaline junkie or high adrenaline rush kind of a trail here. Alrighty guys, so that's the main trail junction between Redwood Springs and Alma Trail. So Alma Trail goes that way, Redwood Springs is that way, that's the way we just came down, and we're going to continue along Alma this way. Down into the parking lot. Still feeling great. Still all smiles, not tired. Feeling good. Stopped and ate my granola bar earlier, and I feel great. And once again, we're just seeing all these trees tagged with orange ribbon, and I would really like to know what that means. And they're not all tagged the same way. Some are tagged around the trunk, some are tagged around branches and limbs. Alrighty guys, I think we're gonna wrap things up here. We're back here on our return trek down by the homesteader, the wrecked, crushed homesteader site. So thanks again for everybody for tuning into the Move OTX channel here today, guys. Hope you guys had a great time on this trek. I know I sure did. Please feel free to post comments and questions down below. And as always, everyone, stay safe out there and enjoy the outdoors. I will catch you guys all on the next one.